Thank you, Will. Good evening, everybody. Season's greetings. Welcome to a sparsely populated Cardiff City stadium. The wide array of empty seats probably echoes the mood amongst the Cardiff supporters after failing to win any of their last 4 matches. They are hovering dangerously close to the relegation places. And this evening they welcome a Queen's Park Rangers side looking for back-to-back victories under their new manager, Neil Critchley. You do have to go back some 55 years to a time when the Beatles were Christmas #1. For the last time Rangers won away from Loftus Road on Boxing Day. David Conley given Cardiff's dire run of form. They won't get too many better opportunities to end that hoodoo.
No, that's right, and it's the start of this run of games that come thick and fast, and certainly they got a bit of confidence after beating Preston. New manager in charge, obviously he's had time on the grass, implement his ideas, and they'll be coming out. I think QPR will be fancying their chances. Look, they beat them pretty comprehensively in the reverse fixture. Elias Chair was outstanding that day, he's on the bench today. Lyndon Dykes got a couple. They were aided by that early red card, but nonetheless, that was a terrific performance. I'm sure they'll take confidence from that.
Jack Simpson sent off that afternoon is amongst the Cardiff subs. They make 2 alterations. Ruben Colwill and Jayden Philogene come in at the expense of Mark Harris and Gavin White. Just the 1 alteration for QPR. Rod Dickey returns to the heart of their defence with Jake Clark-Salter not in the matchday squad. We are just about ready for kick-off on what's already been a very dramatic afternoon here on Talksport 2. Stoppage time winners for Sunderland in the Championship against Blackburn, and for Wolves away from home against Everton in the Premier League. What can these two serve up as both sets of players take a knee before kick-off? Queen's Park Rangers in their away strip today, described to me as navy and Bordeaux red hoops. Lots of Bordeaux, no doubt, around various dining tables yesterday afternoon. They're shooting from left to right in this first half, but it is Cardiff City who are wearing their grey away shirts today in support of a local homeless shelter, and they are attacking the goal away to our right. The 2 lineups in full then for Cardiff: Alsop the goalkeeper, Romeo and G, Kipre and O'Dowda in front of him. Then come Rawls the captain and Wintle in midfield, with Colwill, Robinson and Philogene in behind. Kiana Tetu got his first Cardiff goal against Blackpool last weekend up front. Rangers with Critchley in goal, with Dieng in goal, Laird, Dunn, Dickey and Powell in the back 4. Gazelle, Field and Irogbunam make up midfield, with Adoma and Willock either side of Lyndon Dykes up front. And you can hear the Cardiff supporters taunting those travellers from West London with anti-England World Cup songs, reminding them of the Three Lions quarter-final exit in Doha. Seems a long time ago now. Certainly conditions here in the Welsh capital this evening much cooler than what those of us lucky enough to travel to Qatar experienced during what was a wonderful World Cup. QPR on the attack down the left-hand side with Willock, who's been in good goal-scoring form. And across to make the clearance was Romeo, the full-back. David Conley, what have you made of the opening 90 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, look, Cardiff has started pretty well. I mean, especially Callum Robinson, he is class, playing in the number 10 position behind Tete today. Although when they don't have the ball, all 11 inside their own half, just trying to make it really difficult for QPR to go and break them down. But Callum Robinson, he has got that touch of class. He was brilliant against Blackpool. If they get him on the ball, certainly he can make things happen.
Long raking ball forward by Jimmy Dunn, the centre-back for QPR. It's cleared away by Romeo. I think he may have struck his own player there, so it's going to be a throw-in for the visitors, level with the penalty area on this near side, the left. A very crisp evening in South Wales. The ball is played back to Dunn on the halfway line, and he controlled it cleanly first time. The bleach blonde hair of Callum Robinson quickly closing him down, but QPR have played their way now into Cardiff territory, and the ball is thrust out to his left-hand side, and Willock once more. Willock looking to come in on his right foot, 5 yards outside the penalty area. The cross deflected back to the centre circle. It's collected by Dunn again. Good early possession of this from QPR. Looking to back up that 1-0 victory against Preston last time out in Neil Critchley's first game in charge. Here is Irogbunam on the edge of the area. And Moving the ball around nicely, it's crossed into the 6-yard box, and it was Irobanam arriving, couldn't quite get there, and the ball is safely behind for a goal kick.
It was unlucky. Good ball in, was it, from Adoma? Very patient there from QPR. You would say maybe pressure on the ball from Cardiff wasn't really enough. They just backed off. Callum O'Dowd is not a natural left back, but obviously found himself playing left back here the last few times. Didn't really press the ball, and Adoma, good ball into the back post, just slightly ahead of Irobanam.
He's a former Cardiff loanee. Albert Adoma had a spell here back in 2020. The Ghanaian. Joe Rawls is put under pressure on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area, but a neat ball out in the end from Kipre. An opportunity for Romeo to drive at the heart of the Queen's Park Rangers defence. He's been tripped from behind by Irobanam, and that will be an early yellow card and an early free kick, possibly within shooting range. It was a really powerful burst forward from Romeo, gobbled up plenty of ground, and in the end David Connolly and Irobanam with little choice but to bring him down. Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, he's there to do a job, Irobanam, in terms of breaking things up, getting in the box. We've seen him a minute ago, but breaking things up. But that's a bad foul, just about 6 yards outside the box. Actually, Romeo could have just released it to Callum Rumson, who made a great run left-hand side of the box, but Romeo got his head down. As it is, as soon as the referee blew the whistle, Callum Rumson sprinted over, grabbed the ball, said, right, this is me, and he's the only one standing over it now. Yeah, it's 7 yards outside the penalty area, level with the left-hand post. That's the position at the moment that Seny Dieng, the Senegalese goalkeeper for QPR, has taken. He's just walking now across the centre of goal. Neil Critchley issuing some instructions, and actually Robinson has now walked away.
Well, look, they had a little word with the bench there, maybe, turned around.
I think Mark Hudson has Paul Brank. It's going to be young Colwell, who tries to curl one right footed towards the top corner. That wasn't too far away. For a moment Dieng was scrambling and relieved to see the ball fly behind for a goal kick. Decent technique from Colwell.
Yeah, absolutely. It was that sort of Ronaldo style technique, Cristiano Ronaldo style. It was always fading away though, wasn't it, from that far post?
Well, he did score a really good free kick against Sunderland's under-21s a few days ago, Ruben Colwell. I wonder if Mark Hudson was just reminding Robinson of that fact.
Well, I think so, but nonetheless, I mean, Robinson addressed the ball. He had a couple of minutes over it, waiting to take it, and then at the very last moment, like Mark Hudson, as you say, just pulled rank and said, no, Colwell's going to have it.
That's the voice of David Connolly, the former Republic of Ireland striker, alongside me, Alex Crook, here at the Cardiff City Stadium, live on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport in a few minutes' time, yet another live Boxing Day commentary as our feast of football continues. Aston Villa against Liverpool, and still one more championship commentary to come here on Talksport 2 as well. Jeff Peters and Kevin Watson will be at Kenilworth Road, where Luton take on Norwich in a game that could well determine the future of Canaries boss Dean Smith. Romeo floats the ball down this right hand side. It's not a bad one, and it's just a bit overzealous there from Jaden Philogene as he brought down the left back Powell, and it will be a free kick for QPR. But that was decent play again from Marlon Romeo. Yeah, I mean, look, a nice little spin, came short Philogene and then ran in behind. I think the bounce just deceived Kenneth Powell, but I mean, he went to ground, but the assistant referee's 5 yards away, didn't raise his flag, and the referee blew for a foul. So can't quite understand when the referee makes those decisions. He's got the assistant referee right beside it, who thinks it was a fair challenge. One pump forward by Dieng, third choice goalkeeper for Senegal at the World Cup. He was on the bench for their last 16 defeat against England. Here is Irobanam, who, having picked up that early yellow card, is going to have to make sure his discipline is on point. Adoma rolls the ball out to the right hand side, led into the penalty area, up from full-back, and it's cleared away by Joe Rawls and will be collected by Kiana Tete just inside the Cardiff half. 0-0 here, 8 minutes gone. A reminder of the main headlines from elsewhere this afternoon. Tottenham came back from 2-0 down to earn a point away from home against Brentford. That game was live on Talksport. Fulham 3-0 winners away from home against Crystal Palace in a London derby. Everton 1, Wolves 2. A dramatic stoppage time goal for Wolves here on Talksport 2. Leicester 0, Newcastle 3. That was live on Talksport. On the Talksport app, it finished Southampton 1, Brighton 3. Southampton rock bottom of the Premier League table tonight. In the Championship, Middlesbrough and West Bromwich Albion picking up yet another win. Big win for Sheffield United to go joint top of the table as they beat Coventry by 3 goals to 1, and a rare Huddersfield away victory against Preston. So open, David, this division.
It certainly is. And just looking at QPR, nice little bit of spell in possession. The ball goes wide to Ethan Laird. He just needs a bit of quality and composure on the cross. He underhits it, the ball breaks. Cardiff then have possession back. Philogene tried a little run from out to win, closes space up. You'd like to see him maybe just keep his width a little bit.
Here is Laird down the right-hand side, and he knocks the ball against Colwill and wins QPR a corner. He's been a mainstay this season at Loftus Road since arriving from Manchester United on loan. Had a spell at Bournemouth last season, couldn't really force his way into Scott Parker's plans, but he's such an important outlet down that right-hand side. He's done well to win the corner.
He is quick, make no mistake, a terrific full back. I know Nick Beale, really wanted him as part of his plans.
And the corner will be taken from the right-hand side by Kenneth Powell.
Well, there's about 10 players congregated inside the 6-yard box, just trying to put Ryan Alsop off. There's about 5 or 6 QPR players, and obviously the same amount of Cardiff players.
QPR with the likes of Dickey and Field in there. Dunn has come up from the back as well, so if he can find a good delivery here, Powell, Cardiff could be under pressure in the end. It's a woeful ball over the head of everybody inside that 6-yard box and behind for a goal kick.
Everybody went towards the near post and Powell put it towards the far post. What a waste.
Not a collector's item, that one. 9 years since Queen's Park Rangers were in the end of season playoffs. I think that will be the aim now under Neil Critchley. Burnley and Sheffield United joint top of the table at the moment have built up quite a big advantage over the chasing pack.
Well, he certainly hasn't really changed much, has he, since he's taken over from Mick Beale? I know he hasn't had long, but similar side so far. I wonder what he'll be able to do in January. We'll have to wait and see if he wants to change anything.
And we talk about Cardiff and their transfer embargo, which clearly is going to impact Mark Hudson's plans for the upcoming window. Queen's Park Rangers for several years now have had to operate under strict financial restrictions. Here's Robinson for Cardiff over on the left-hand side with that free roll in behind Atete. And he's played a decent ball out to his left-hand side. In the end, the cross was a poor one from O'Dowda. Steered clear from the edge of the 6-yard box by Dickey. Needed better from O'Dowda.
Yeah, a little bit of composure as well here, Callum. I mean, everyone knows him from his days at Bristol City, flying down the wing, and he breaks into the box there, and he's got Joe Rules on the edge. He just has to roll it to him. Instead, he just flashes it across the 6-yard box, easily cleared, and you expect a little bit better there from Callum O'Dowda.
Well, he's a winger playing at left back, so
yeah.
The one thing that he should guarantee is end product. They do have a throw on that far side.
Yeah, that has often been, I think, levelled at Callum, that reliability when he gets into those areas inside the box. Can he pick somebody out?
They have a second throw in quick succession, Cardiff, down by the left corner flag. We've played 12 minutes here on Talksport 2. It remains goalless, with Luton against Norwich still to come here, and Villa taking on Liverpool over on Talksport. 2 more commentaries live on Talksport from the Premier League tomorrow. I'll be at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea against Bournemouth. Scott Minto alongside me for a 5:30 kick-off. And then Ian Danta in the chair for Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. It's an 8 p.m. kick-off live from Old Trafford. If that's not enough to whet the appetite, we still have Leeds against Manchester City to come the following evening.
One thing I would say about Callum O'Dowda is he has got the engine to get up and down, make no mistake. I mean, he is as rapid as they come.
So 0-0. It's Queen's Park Rangers looking to attack down the right-hand side with the Doma, but again it breaks down and the ball is given away. A distinct lack of quality, David, in the early exchanges here.
Well, yeah, the ball's turned over a little bit, but I mean, I think both sides have started okay. You would say Powell with the corner was a bit disappointing, but other than that, they're both just trying to settle into the game so far.
The ball goes up as Robinson wins the ball on the halfway line for Cardiff.
It started sharply, Callum Robinson.
Chip forward towards Piana Tete. He goes down the edge of the box, but play continues as Romeo drills in a low right-footed cross, but it's cleared away expertly by Dunn. That wasn't a hit and hope clearance.
I think they're
certainly there to pick out Willock.
Well, I think Cardiff would have rather have the foul there. Really clumsy challenge on Tete. and it's out wide in a good area. They'd probably rather have the free kick because their number 9 is on the deck, he's not in the box, and there's kind of no point putting the ball in there really.
It's raining quite heavily now here in South Wales after a predominantly dry, chilly afternoon.
I think Mark Hudson's just saying that to the fourth official. Why play the advantage there when our central strikers bundled over outside the box? Give us the free kick.
Hasn't quite gone according to plan for Kiana Tete. £500,000 Cardiff paid to sign him from Tottenham, having done well lower down the food chain in the EFL with various loan clubs, but just the one goal so far came against Blackpool last weekend in that 1-1 draw. As a former striker, David Connolly, how important is that first goal for any new club?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a player obviously coming through a Cat 1 academy, but it's always a gamble, hoping that he's going to be ready to play championship level week in, week out.
Here's Willock down the left-hand side for QPR. Powell's made a good run ahead of him. Crosses low into the penalty area. Expertly picked up by Kid Prey. Got there ahead of Lyndon Dykes at the near post, and what looked a dangerous delivery ultimately came to nothing. Here come Cardiff at the other end. This game just starting to open up. Colwill on the left-hand side. Plays it forward to Kiana Tete. He's got grey shirts up in support. Tries to give it back to Colwill on the edge of the area. Joe Rawls urged to shoot by the home supporters. He responds. And his shot from 25 yards out is blocked out for a throw.
Well, I tell you what, they've been bright, Cardiff. When they've gone forward, you can see what they're trying to do in terms of when they don't have the ball there. They're all 11 players in their own half, trying to be difficult to break down, hoping that QPR's fullbacks advance, they leave spaces out wide, and then they break into them. They've done that well there, and tell you what, they've started very, very well here.
Romeo with a throw, near side the right, level with the QPR penalty area. Into the feet of Jaden Philogene on loan from Aston Villa. Back to Romeo. QPR players trying to claim that he's taking the ball out of touch. Referee Keith Stroud says play on. The assistant on this near side had a good view as well. And here's Willock now. Good turn away and managing to play it forward. And then Rogue Benham has been swept clean off his heels by Wintle, and it will be a free kick for QPR.
Yeah, heavy challenge from Wintle, but lovely little bit of footwork from Chrissy Willock.
6 goals in 15 championship appearances this season. Chris Willock, his best ever scoring campaign is 7 goals for the former Arsenal youngster. Elias Chair, fresh back from taking part in that third place World Cup playoff for Morocco against Croatia, is on the bench this evening. We would imagine he will come on at some point. Real creative force for the men from West London. Which QPR in possession inside the centre circle with Dickey. Up over the halfway line comes Field. And here's Willock again, picking up the ball just in from the near left touchline. Still goalless on Talksport too. Little drop of the shoulder from Irogue Benham. Manages to work some space on the edge of the area. It's chipped forward towards the bold-headed Lyndon Dykes, and he's done well to outmuscle Kip Prey. And here is Willock. Cuts in onto his right foot. Can he get a shot away from the edge of the penalty area? Tries to curl one towards the bottom corner. It was always going wide, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, you just gave him the big build-up in terms of the amount of goals he's got, nearly as many as last season. You thought, right, the space just opened up here, moved out wide to the left-hand side, ducked in field onto his favoured right side. He worked the opening really well, just a couple of yards outside the box, trying to curl this into the far corner. But he gets it badly wrong. It misses target by a good 5 or 6 yards.
It was absolutely obvious what he was trying for, though, wasn't it? And would it be a concern if you were Mark Hudson that the Cardiff defence backed off and allowed him to work space for the shot?
Look, with Chrissy Willock out on his left-hand side, what he wants to do is duck in field, get it onto his right. That's his strongest side. A bit slow to go and close the ball down there, Cardiff, that's for sure.
Mark Hudson, who's won 4, lost 6 of his 13 matches in charge, has been told the job is his, at least until the end of the season, having replaced Steve Morrison. Cardiff underwent a lot of change in terms of personnel and style under Morrison in the summer. He would argue maybe he should have been given more time to implement that style, but they did find themselves hovering just above the relegation places. Issues off the field as well with that transfer embargo. It is going to be a massive second half of the season here in South Wales. Can Cardiff kickstart that second half of the season with victory tonight. 0-0. We've played 18 minutes. You're listening to Talksport 2 on this huge day of Boxing Day fare for both the Premier League and the Championship. Gana Tete plays the ball back to the halfway line, picked up by Romeo with the lime green footwear. Forward he goes to Jaden Philogene. Bit of dancing feet from him to try and get away from Powell. Now back into Wintle, just on the edge of the centre circle. Kipre recycles possession out to the left hand side, and O'Dowda. In the end the ball trickles out of play for what will be a Cardiff throw. Robinson in a hurry to take it quickly. Here's Rules, the captain. In his 11th season at the club, he's played under 10 different managers. Ball chipped forward to Philogene, who I think was offside. The flag goes up belatedly. A little thumbs up there from the left back Powell towards the orange shirted assistant on this near side to say, well spotted fella.
Well, I tell you what, Colwell with a lovely diagonal here, but I mean, Philogene, I think he's got to leave the ball. He drags his fullback in now. He is offside, but it is quite close. But nonetheless, Marlon Romeo is the one that's completely free if he leaves that.
Romeo, a summer signing from Millwall, was on loan at Portsmouth in League One last season. And he has started in a really lively manner down the right-hand side.
They've been pretty sharp. You got to say, all over the pitch, Cardiff. Moving the ball really well. Breaking from a deep position. Deep line defence and all that, and breaking and countering, and they've done it with real quality. I mean, Callum Robinson has looked so sharp. They just can't quite keep the ball at the minute, QPR.
Yeah, Neil Critchley, certainly the more animated of the two managers, down not too far from our commentary position here in the main stand at the Cardiff City Stadium. Mark Hudson to his left, looking all the more relaxed as we tiptoe towards the midway point of the first half. And the Cardiff fans, despite the numerous empty seats, making plenty of noise. They will be reasonably encouraged by what they've seen in the opening 20 minutes from their team. They've hardly been banging goals for fun this season. In fact, they've only scored more than one goal in a single home game in one of their last 12 Championship matches, Cardiff. QPR will have the ball with Field, the former West Brom midfielder, just on the edge of the centre circle. Forward it goes to Adoma, and he will look to cut inside in that right wing position, and then there was a tangling of legs between Adoma and O'Dowda, and the decision has gone O'Dowda's way. It will be a Cardiff free kick midway inside their own half. Yeah, it just took a little bit too long in possession there, Adoma, just to make his mind up, and that was, I think, QPR's best passage of play. Dazelle in the middle of the park field, they can really pass the ball well, but he comes into Adoma, just make an early decision. He had the overlapping run of Ethan there, could have used him, he didn't. And I think he'll know as well. Callum O'Dowda, he's a strong boy, He's a really strong, powerful runner. It was a decent bit of business by Cardiff to pick him up, Callum O'Dowda from Bristol City on a free transfer in the summer. As long as he stays fit, it's his big issue, keep him fit. Towering header upfield by Jimmy Dunn. He might come from Willock on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area. He's holding his face after a challenge within G. Referee Keith Stroud is disinterested. And here comes Romeo down the right hand side for Cardiff again, forward to Philogene. He was backing into Powell, he goes down Philogene, but again the referee says no free kick. He was trying to let the half flow here, Keith Stroud, the Hampshire official. He's done quite well there, nothing wrong with that challenge, I don't think. And here's Powell again, just inside QPR territory, picked up by the Irishman Dunn, reunited with Rob Dickey at the heart of the QPR defence. And then Field with the chip ball forward. And Powell is quick, he's not quite that quick. And the goalkeeper Ryan Allsop, all in green for Cardiff, comes and collects cleanly on the edge of the 18-yard box, 0-0. He's always looking to get in behind though, isn't he, Kenneth Powell, the QPR left back. They just need to get that service right. A couple of times it's been on and he hasn't had it, and that was on them, but just an overhit pass there from Samfield. He scored in the 3-0 home win that you were talking about earlier, Kenneth Powell. He's got 4 assists this season as well, more than any other Championship defender. So he's clearly a very good attacking outlet on this near left-hand side. He's in possession again, wearing gloves. And it's poked forward to Europa now inside the centre circle. Very composed in possession, Queen's Park Rangers. It's something that began under Mick Beale that Neil Critchley will be keen to continue. As Willock turns away from Wintle, back into the centre of the Cardiff half, and then he looks for a floating pass out to the right of the Doma. Too heavy and behind for a goal kick for Cardiff.
They just want a little bit more from Chris Willock. I mean, that's a disappointing crossfield pass from him straight off the pitch, and certainly they'll expect more.
David Conley there, the former EFL striker, former World Cup player with the Republic of Ireland, alongside me, Alex Crook. Don't forget, the best way to stay across all of the live football on the Talksport network over the next few days is by downloading the Talksport app. You can swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2. There are various app-only commentaries available as well. Over on Talksport right now, Liverpool have the early lead against Aston Villa. Mo Salah within 5 minutes of kick-off. 1-0 they lead. And here on Talksport 2, it's Cardiff 0, QPR 0, with Luton against Norwich still to come. That's a 7:45 kick-off, so straight after we're finished here in the Principality, we'll be handing to Jeff Peters at Kenilworth Road. Didn't take Salah long to get back in the groove after the World Cup break.
No, that's always nice, isn't it? Early goal. Settle the nerves, if there were any.
Cardiff would love an early goal here, having scored just 20 in their 23 championship matches to this point. Only Huddersfield, who
they got two.
The weekend bottom.
They got two today. So I think they've actually scored the fewest in the league now.
There we go.
If my maths is right.
Goals as they go in here on Talksport 2.
Well, there's only 9 here. You had a couple of those against Hull, so it has been an issue for them. But I think Etete and Callum Robinson so far have looked really good together. You know, Robinson playing off Etete as a sort of number 10, linking it, and Etete as that number 9 focal point. They've looked good when they've got the ball.
Etete trying to put pressure on Dieng, the yellow-shirted QPR goalkeeper, but the ball is safely cleared away down this left-hand side, one back by Wintle, who cushions the pass back to his goalkeeper, Alsop, the much-travelled former Derby stopper. He started every league game, in fact the only Cardiff player to have played every minute in the Championship this season, Ryan Alsop. Over a number of summer recruits, and he has the ball at his feet now and plays it right-footed high up into the Welsh sky. It's a good leap from Kenneth Powell, get there ahead of Philogene, nodded out of play for a Cardiff throw, which Romeo will take on halfway.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit different. Ball goes off the pitch, and as soon as they can, Cardiff, they're getting the ball back in play. You know, there is a sense of urgency here that they've started with.
Ball launched forward by Wintle. Colwell momentarily was the furthest man forward for Cardiff, but couldn't get there. Ahead of the goalkeeper Dieng, who clears it upfield, but immediately it will come back again with Robinson. High ball into Etete, neat chest control from him. Philogene beaten to the loose ball by Field, and QPR have got runners over here. Field on the left-hand side, slows the game down, plays it back into the QPR half, and Powell. And here now on the edge of the centre circle is Andre Dazelle, son of the former Ipswich player Jason Dazelle.
Well, they've had a lot of passes in their own half, haven't they, between the back unit, QPR, and at times you might want them just to go forward a little bit quicker. They could have done there, but they checked out, didn't have enough options ahead of the ball, so here we are back with their goalkeeper. I think too many passes amongst their back unit at the minute.
Neither goalkeeper really has been called into action as yet. We had that curling free kick just wide from Ruben Colwell early on for Cardiff, but apart from that, goal-scoring chances have been in short supply, as maybe we anticipated before a ball had been kicked. Here is Lyndon Dykes, the Scotland international, dropping very deep just to try and get involved in the play. It's played long upfield by Dunn, and then returned with interest by Perry and G. And then a coming together between Dunn and Philogene. Free kick, I think he's going to go Queen's Park Rangers way. Neither the assistant referee or the referee, David, look completely certain.
I think he's given offside here. I mean, it's really clumsy from Jimmy Dunn on Philogene. He almost crashed into it with his forearm on the back of his head, but he's actually got the ball because Philogene was offside.
QPR restart. Willock looking to turn in behind Romeo. Gets there ahead of the Cardiff fullback, who gobbled up the ground quickly and clears the ball behind for what will be Queen's Park Rangers' second corner of the evening. 0-0 with 28 minutes go on Talksport 2.
Nice little spin, came short Willock, then ran in behind. I mean, he doesn't really have the pace that Marlon Romeo does, so he did catch him up, as you say. Nonetheless, he's got a corner, which is probably the best outcome. Different setup here from QPR. The last one had nearly everyone in the 6-yard box. Now they've got, well, nearly all their players outside the 6-yard box.
They'll be hoping that Kenneth Powell can come up with a much better delivery than he did last time around. It's from the left-hand side this time, so it's going to be an out-swinger, left-footed. And again, it clears everybody inside the penalty area. Lyndon Dykes went down, half-heartedly appealing for a penalty, but once again, the QPR player's not quite on the same wavelength as the corner taker. Robenham has been upended on the corner of the box, and it's going to be a free kick in a very dangerous position here for QPR.
Yeah, I mean, coming back to the set-piece corner, they're obviously working on something maybe to target Cardiff at the back post. Let's have another look. Was he blocked off? A little tug there, Jimmy Dunn. Yeah, Marlon Romeo was certainly pulled back. Sorry, Jimmy Dunn was pulled back by Marlon Romeo, that's for sure.
I wonder if VAR was on offer in the Championship. Maybe they would have been taking a look at that, although I spoke to Howard Webb, the new boss of the PGMOL, last week. He was saying he wants less VAR intervention, more on-field decisions being made, and I think we saw that in that Brentford-Tottenham game today when Spurs, live on Talksport, had a couple of penalty appeals waved away that maybe previously would have been worth a second look. Here comes the free kick for QPR. Looks like Adoma. He's going to bend this in right-footed from the right-hand side. Powell listed over it as well. And there are 6 hoop jerseys to aim at. Powell with the delivery, only half away to Willock on the edge of the area, shoots right-footed. He was closed down quickly by Wintle, and the block clears the danger.
He didn't really have the time to take a touch there, Willock. I think he should have just let fly first time on the volley. Ball fell to him in a really nice position, central, middle of the box, and I think just let fly. Tried to take a touch, it was heavy, took him into traffic, and the chance was gone.
Half an hour gone. It's still 0-0 here at the Cardiff City Stadium over on Talksport. Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 1. Mo Salah with the early goal in that game. A day of lots of drama up and down the country, all captured here on the Talksport network. There's going to be another free kick for QPR. Certainly Adoma is looking for it. Goes down under the challenge from Colwell, down by the right corner flag. Assistant keeps his flag down this time, and it is no more than a goal kick for Cardiff. Adoma gesticulating that he was pushed to the floor by Colwell. He's a big lad, isn't he, Ruben Colwell?
He is, and I think he did have his arms there on Adoma. I mean, he took that ball out the sky beautifully well, Adoma, and great run to get to the byline, and to me it looked like a foul, certainly.
Ruben Colwell challenge in the build-up to this game by Mark Hudson, the Cardiff manager, to show more of his talent.
Maybe that's why he put him on the free kick.
That's as close as we come to a goal so far. Colwell with the curling free kick wide. Sonny Dieng, the QPR goalkeeper, scrambling across his line. No real moments of concern for Ryan Alsop, who's in possession now, the Cardiff keeper at the other end. Cardiff have won only 2 of their last 10, none of their last 4 in the Championship. They began the weekend looking nervously over their shoulder.
What a run.
Powerful burst from Irobanam, and he's stopped in his tracks only by a foul from Wintle on the edge of the penalty area, almost inside the D. It's a yellow card for Ryan Wintle.
Well, I'd say a great run from Irobanam. Picks it up just 10 yards inside his own half, and lovely feet, just gets past 3-4 players. Really powerful run. He's driving towards the edge of the box. He's just about to offload it. He gets a little shove in the back from Wintle, and that is what he possesses. Tim Irobanam, he is a real talent, I think. Terrific midfielder.
It was similar to the yellow card that Irobanam himself picked up at the other end. One booking apiece now, and this free kick in a very central position. Adoma and Powell again are jostling for it. Only 5 or 6 yards outside the box. It's well within shooting range as the rain continues to fall in Cardiff.
Well, Jimmy Dunn's gone down, which is a concern for QPR.
Yeah, especially with Clark Salter not named amongst the subs this evening. Do have Connor Masterton, the young Irish centre-back is a possible option to come on.
Well, I think
looks like he's got a bit of an eye injury, is he?
Yeah.
So a delay is done, is treated. Neil Critchley has taken the opportunity to summon over both Irog Banam and Rob Dickey. It doesn't look like the type of injury that will force Dunn off the pitch. Certainly no concern on the face of his manager. Neil Critchley did very well at Blackpool, taking them into the Championship before deciding to join Stephen Gerrard as assistant at Aston Villa in the summer. That didn't quite work out. He was dismissed along with Gerrard before returning to frontline management. He was actually part of the conversation at Bournemouth as a possible assistant to Gary O'Neill in the Premier League, but having had that taste of being a number 2 at Villa, I think he was keen, David, to get back in the dugout himself.
Absolutely, and I think this was a really good role for him. One that, you know, certainly we'll be hoping to make a success of. He was superb, as you say, brilliant at Blackpool.
And Cardiff fans are not happy with how long it's taking here for Dunn to be treated. And he's back on his feet now, and he's going to come off the pitch before being sent back on.
He's done a good job by the looks of it. Tidied it up pretty nicely, the medical staff. He did have a bit of blood around his face, so maybe a cut that they can sort out at half-time.
Yeah, we've only got 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this first half. Finally, the free kick will be taken. Doma standing to the left of the ball. Powell, the diminutive fullback, to the right. He's going to be Powell over the wall and not too far wide. Allsop may well have had it covered, having guessed the right way. But just like Colwell at the other end for a moment, Powell had the goalkeeper scrambling.
Yeah, not bad effort though, to be honest. I mean, he went goalkeeper's side. It was close, but again, it's missed the target. What you would say so far, I mean, we haven't had a lot of efforts, and those that we have had haven't hit the target either, so...
1-0 was enough for Queen's Park Rangers in the corresponding fixture last season. Courtesy of a solitary Andre Gray goal. You sense that one goal either way might be enough to settle this one.
Well, there's a few fans just clambering backwards because they're getting wet at the minute, trying to find some cover.
Yeah, it could be a nice wet journey home for you and I, David, once we're finished here.
Well, I've got a roof on my car. You're in convertible.
I wish.
All that World Cup money
in these conditions.
Yeah. You must have a button you just press though, right?
It's like the Bombmobile.
Yeah.
Only without the gadgets. 0-0 with 9 minutes to play. Liverpool still leading Aston Villa by 1-0 over on Talksport, and Luton against Norwich from Kenilworth Road coming up later here on Talksport 2. Cardiff come forward down the right hand side. Romeo into the penalty area, but across comes Dunn, doing his defensive duty and playing the ball out for a throw.
Well, that started with Cardiff. Long ball up to Atete. He wins the first flick on, which he's done well to do, to be honest, up against the likes of Jimmy Dunn and Rob Dickey. It's a challenge, you know, but he has got that height. He must be a good, 6'2", 3? Atete, he's a big boy.
I think more was expected of Kiana Tete, having made that summer move from Spurs. Been a couple of nice touches from him tonight when he has held the ball up well, but hasn't really had the opportunity to show his worth in and around the penalty area, anywhere near enough. Sometimes it's difficult, isn't it, David? You look at a striker's goal return, you think, well, he's obviously underperforming, but how many chances has Kiana Tete actually had in a Cardiff shirt to put the ball in the back of the net? They're not a team who create stacks of opportunities as we're witnessing tonight.
No, that's right, but he got a good one against Blackpool last week, so if you do give him chances, well, let's wait and see. But it's obviously a lot different from going from an academy and being, or having potential, to then, you know, going delivering week in, week out in the Championship.
Yeah, I think you had half of the Championship and every club in League One chasing his signature in the summer.
The demands that are put on you, you know, to perform. that reliability, robustness that you need to play in the Championship. It's hard to get in academy football,
Ball is back at the feet of the goalkeeper, Sonny Dieng for Queen's Park Rangers. He scored as many goals this season, Dieng, as Kiana Tete, having
Sunderland, was it?
Sunderland back in August. Good knowledge, David Conley. That's why you're the king of the EFL here on Talksport 2. Didn't even have to look at his notes.
Well, did you have that down? Oh, you can cross that one off.
I will. Big red pen, like a teacher correcting the errors. And this game is as drab as the weather at the moment, doesn't it? Needs a goal.
Well, yeah, it certainly needs a little bit of excitement. Both teams having a lot of the ball in around their own half. Certainly QPR more than Cardiff. It's just haven't really crafted anything of real note, Rangers, so far.
Yeah, Lyndon Dykes reading the line up front has been feeding on scraps, much like Atete at the other end. Here on the left-hand side is Powell, though, trying to take on Romeo. It's been a good battle between the two opposing fullbacks. Low ball into the area, swept away by Kip Bray. Field there ahead of Kiana Tete, and that will keep QPR on the attack. Irobanam dragged to the floor by Wintle in an almost identical position to where he conceded the last free kick, and he's going to have to be careful here. Right, Wintle having already been booked.
Yeah, Irobanam just got the wrong side of him, and he just hauled him back in a similar sort of position, but this time on the left-hand side of the box, 5-6 yards outside it. And that's what, Irobanam does. He's strong, he's quick, he's technically really good. If he gets the wrong side of you, you're not going to catch him. So Wintle's got to be careful. And as it is now, you'd imagine this will be Willock from the left-hand side of the box. This should be a right footer. I mean, Powell had the last one, although he's standing over this one.
Well, Powell's had every set piece so far, hasn't he? 2 corners and the free kick. Again, he is showing some interest, but
it's quite a big wall for Cardiff. If you look at it, Colwill in it and Atete. It's quite tall, so he's got to get this ball up and over if he's going for goal.
Joe Willock, the number 7 for QPR, looking for his 7th goal of the season. Right-footed over the wall and straight into the arms of Allstott. That was comfortable.
It was, yeah, straight into the arms, yeah. And I think the goalkeeper read that one.
Did I call him Joe?
You won't be the first, don't worry.
I won't be the last either. He is the brother of Joe Willock, former Arsenal player. They were both former Arsenal youngsters. Joe now at Newcastle, who had an excellent win today away from home against Leicester. Live on Talksport. Over on Talksport right now, we have Aston Villa against Liverpool. The last of our Premier League commentaries on this busy Boxing Day, and it's still Villa 0, Liverpool 1. Mo Salah with a goal after only 5 minutes. A reminder tomorrow, a double header from the Premier League on Talksport. 5:30 kick-off, Chelsea against Gary O'Neill's Bournemouth, and then it's Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off on Wednesday. We're live at Ellen Road for Leeds against Manchester City. That rounds off the Boxing Day round of games, all 10 live and exclusive on the Talksport network. Here's Romeo, right corner of the penalty area for Cardiff. Little cross into the box, and it's over the head of Robinson. Any kind of connection from Robinson or Atete, who flung himself along the 6-yard line, and I think the goalkeeper would have been in trouble. It was a teasing delivery. Did they almost get in each other's way, David Conley?
I think they did. I think maybe Callum Robinson got a little nick on that. I tell you what, that was fabulous football. Started inside their own box, and they worked it so well up through the thirds and came out from the left to the right-hand side. Really good ball in the box from Wintle in and around the penalty spot, and it just looked like Callum Robinson was always stretching for it. He got a little nick on it, and it just took it off the head of Atete, who was probably in a better position just behind him.
I'm not saying that our club colleagues at Queen's Park Rangers are fearing the worst here in terms of a lack of goals, but I've just seen a graphic on the laptop being used in front of me. Half-time, Cardiff 0, QPR 0. There are still 3 minutes of the first half to play, so maybe they've gone a bit early with that one. But it is Cardiff, isn't it, when they've got the ball in and around the 18-yard box.
They've moved it well.
Who've looked the more likely to break the deadlock.
Yeah, they have moved it quite well.
Despite their lowly position in the table, just a couple of points above the bottom 3 as it stands, Cardiff.
I think it would have hurt last week, obviously getting the goal, and then Gary Medine scoring, who for a couple of years here didn't find the back of the net, so I think that would have hurt them a little bit.
Oh, it's amazing how often football throws up those quirks of fate. Kenneth Powell did well there to usher the ball out of play under pressure from Romeo, right in front of Neil Critchley, the QPR manager. QPR, who have Luton and Sheffield United still to face over the festive period. That game against Sheffield United live on Talksport 2 on January the 2nd. I want to get a win here to get their festive campaign off to a positive beginning.
They won't win passes like that, though. I mean, Kenneth Powell and Christian Willett came short again, spanning behind it. Just needs a way to pass there from Powell, just to leave it in and around the Cardiff box, just allow Willett to at least have a chance in a foot race against Marlon Romeo. As it is, he got a foot race with a ball to try and keep it in. Far too much pace on that pass.
And the rain has relented now inside the Cardiff City Stadium. It's a goal kick for the Bluebirds to be taken by Ryan Alsop. And it's picked up on the halfway line by Adoma, but he can't keep it for very long. And here is Kipre, on loan from West Bromwich Albion, seen as a Bruno Manga type figure. And now an opportunity for Colwell to turn and find space on the edge of the area, and the shot lifted over the crossbar by Robinson. 19 yards out, he got underneath the ball. It was always rising, and it's behind for a goal kick for QPR.
It's unlucky. Another good move though, Alex, because again they move it really well, pick up the second ball in the middle of the park, shift it out wide to O'Dowda, finds a Tete in the box. He could have crossed, but instead really good awareness here, just rolled the ball across the edge of the area to his strike partner Callum Robinson, took one touch and then he just let fly. Again, it's unlucky, he just went a yard over the bar.
Ruben Colwell, who came on as substitute for Wales against England at the World Cup, right at the heart of that move, operating on the left of the three, in behind Kiana Tete. Openham winning the ball high up the field from Wintle, but Kipre ushers it back to the goalkeeper Alsop. We're into the final 20 seconds of regulation time at the end of the first half, still goalless here. And there will be a few added minutes. It's played forward towards Colwell inside the centre circle. 3 added minutes indicated by the fourth official. We're into the first of those now. Can one of these two sides get their noses in front before the interval? With Obenham running towards the centre circle. Run back by the tall figure of Kiana Tete, and he's making progress down the right hand side. He goes down. There were 2 QPR players trying to stop him in his tracks. I think Powell is the one who's been penalised. Sam Field across helping out the fullback as well.
Well, I didn't see this as a foul. I mean, I don't think Kenneth Powell touched him at all. He just went to ground, Tete, and it was just the referee bought it. As it is, good position, a couple of yards to the sideline. And they've ended the half really well here, Cardiff. They got a goal here. It would certainly change this half-time team talk from Mark Hudson, because they've been pretty good here, but they've just lacked a little bit of punching around the box.
Well, they certainly haven't played like a side with relegation worries. Winter with the delivery towards the near post, and it's headed well wide in the end from Perry and G. He had a free run at the ball. He couldn't direct the header on target, the centre-back.
Disappointing, isn't it? Really disappointing header. I mean, maybe the ball's slightly behind him. He's heading it almost in line with the penalty spot, but he's beyond the near post. So really difficult skill to then angle that back towards goal. But nonetheless, it's another opportunity, and they haven't hit the target. Certainly both teams haven't worked the goalkeeper enough.
Yeah, Sonny Dieng, largely a spectator. Watch that header harmlessly fly beyond the post, but still Cardiff look them all like. I think Neil Critchley will have more to say to his players during the half-time interval than maybe Mark Hudson, the Cardiff boss, will to his. But we've still got over a minute of the 3 added on to play here on Talksport 2. A reminder coming up later, Luton taking on Norwich. And we will be getting David Conley's views on the Norwich situation, the pressure on Dean Smith during the half-time break here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Joe Willock neatly plucks the ball from the sky inside the centre circle. One last attack maybe for QPR. Yet to ask any serious questions of Alsop, the Cardiff goalkeeper. Doma trying to change that on the edge of the area. Cross from there towards Dykes at the near post, who got his head on the ball but could only divert it away from danger. And then Philogene, I think he's done quite well there to win a foul off Powell. And that, David Connolly, probably will be the last meaningful action of what's been a pretty scrappy first half, and one lacking in real quality.
Yeah, it has. But nonetheless, I think certainly Cardiff have looked the side that look most likely to craft something. They've played pretty well, to be honest. Defended well, restricted QPR to precious little, and then when they've gone forward, they've attacked pretty well.
Well, there is the half-time whistle. Neither goalkeeper has had too much cause to get their gloves dirty to this point. Ruben Colwill back in the starting lineup for Cardiff after World Cup duty with Wales. Put a curling free kick inches wide of Senny Dieng's upright early in the half, matched at the other end by Chris Willock, also firing wide from a set piece. Set pieces have looked the most likely route to goal. But I think, David, as you've been alluding to during that first half, Cardiff and Mark Hudson will be the happier of the two teams, the two managers. Yeah, absolutely. They certainly look the most likely. They've moved the ball with a purpose, defended well, all 11 often inside their own half, and they just look to try and counter. And they've countered, pretty well. Okay, look, they haven't crafted anything of real quality in and around the box, and they've been kind of restricted to opportunities from outside. I haven't really worked the goalkeeper, but a lot of their approach play has been pretty good, and they've certainly looked the better team with the ball. Well, you have to go back to 2018 for the last time QPR even scored a goal on Boxing Day. At the moment, that wait is continuing. Half-time here on Talksport 2. It is Cardiff City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. And surely things can only get better after a pretty drab incident this first half. What can Cardiff and Queen's Park Rangers serve up by way of entertainment in the second? The grey-shirted Cardiff City players have been out on the pitch in front of us for a good 90 seconds or so. They have now been joined by their QPR counterparts. It doesn't look, David Connolly, as if either manager will be going to their bench. If you're Neil Critchley, would you be urging the Queen's Park Rangers players to show what they were for the opening 15 minutes before maybe making those changes?
Possibly. I mean, look, he's got a nice chair sitting there, but maybe he'll be saying, they could have had a possible pen if you go back to that first 45. Marlon Romeo had that tug on Jimmy Dunn from the corner. Timo Robenham was a plus for them. He was a terrific ball carrier, but certainly I think they could do a lot better in possession. But look, it wasn't a game really of any quality in that first 45. I think both teams will certainly hope that they have a bit more in and around the box, that's for sure.
I was debating with some of our media colleagues actually in the press room at half-time about that penalty claim. It was Jimmy Dunn, I think, who was dragged to the ground, and their views were that if it was a Premier League game, then certainly VAR would have intervened. Yeah. Is that how you see it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it was a clear tug, make no mistake, clear pull on the shirt, so...
Well, QPR will maybe be spurred on by that sense of injustice if they've seen the incident again. At half-time, it is the visitors from West London who get us back underway here on Talksport 2 in their navy blue and Bordeaux red hoops jerseys, Bordeaux red shorts and socks, shooting from left to right, attacking the end of the ground where the travelling fans from Loftus Road are situated. And Cardiff, as I mentioned, the first half in the grey jerseys, black shorts and grey socks, their away kit in support of a local homeless shelter, wearing their away colours to highlight those who don't have a home to go to this Christmas. A very important message being sent out by the hosts. So no changes, all stopping goal for Cardiff. Romeo and G, Kipre and O'Dowda in a back four. Rolls the captain and Wintle in front of them. Colwill, Robinson and Philogene behind Kiana Tete up front. QPR have Dieng in goal. Laird, Dunn, Dickey and Powell in the back four. There's Elfield and Robenham in midfield, and then Adoma and Willock either side of Dykes up front. 0-0. We've played a minute in the second half, and QPR dominating possession, David Connolly, without really looking like they can come up with a probing pass at the moment.
No, and I guess that's been pretty much the case in that first 45, but it's a heavy period, isn't it? Maybe blowing a few of the cobwebs off in that first 45 from Christmas Day, who knows?
Here is Field picking up the ball midway inside Cardiff territory, up to the left-hand side. Powell with a low cross looking for Dykes, but it's swept away by Perry and G.
Bad cross, isn't it? It's another one. You would say QPR, if they are going to go wide and they are going to service the likes of Lyndon Dykes, certainly need better crosses than that from Powell. Didn't beat the first man, easily cleared.
Yeah, it's been that final ball which lets both sides down over the course of the evening so far. As again, QPR look to launch it long, looking for Lyndon Dykes, who barely had a kick inside the opposition area. That one sails over his shaven head and into the arms of Ryan Alsop, the Cardiff goalkeeper. He bowls it out to the edge of the area, and G. Cardiff, who've lost 6 of their 8 matches in the lead up to the World Cup, drawn each of the last 2 since the Championship resumed. But they picked up more wins this season against teams in the top half of the table than those in the bottom half. QPR know a victory tonight will take them back into the top 6, having fallen away in the wake of Mick Peel's possible departure to Wolves and then his eventual departure to Rangers. Robinson surely is offside, but he lets the ball run across his body into Atete in the left wing position, could cross into the area, and not a great header away, might come down for Philogene, and it was well defended by Powell in the end after a mistake initially in the air by Dunn. Still Cardiff on the attack with Romeo over on the right hand side. Back he goes to the halfway line, and then Philogene with a little layoff to Romeo. Cardiff have got plenty of bodies forward, and here's Philogene inside the penalty area, looking to cut the cross back from Robinson. The flag goes up, he was offside, and it will be a free kick for QPR. Yeah, just straight offside there, Philogene, which is unlucky. A little bit better there from Cardiff, attacking down the left hand side. Nice spin in behind from Callum Robinson. In the end, the ball fell to Atete. Good ball in the box, cleared, and eventually QPR get the offside, but nothing again of note. Haven't really tested the keeper once more. Yeah, the second half has started really in the way that the first ended. The onus really on Cardiff as the home side, but it's given away badly by Kipley on the edge of the area. Here's Adoma into the box, crosses it along the 6-yard line. Look at Lyndon Dykes, who threw himself at the ball but couldn't get there. And it's cleared upfield by Romeo, and Kipley is a relieved man, having squandered possession cheaply initially, the centre-back for Cardiff. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're not really pressing high, QPR, so they're just allowing the likes of Kipley to have the ball and say, go on then, what can you do with it? Can you pick a pass? And he gave it away then. The ball in the box was not a bad one, was it, from Albert Adoma? Low along the ground to Lyndon Dykes. Here's Robinson. Maybe the game is starting to open up. Rolls the captain out to the left-hand side. O'Dowda has made a good run. Crosses into the centre. Will it still come for Atete? Hooks it along the 6-yard line. Opportunity! And it's wide by Kiana Atete. What an opportunity to make it 2 goals in 2 games. It all came from a brilliant run down the left-hand side by O'Dowda. Good ball in initially. Half cleared by Dunn, hooked back across the 6-yard line by Colwill. And then Kiana Atete, David Connolly, had to hit the target from 6 yards out. Yeah, he just hit the post behind the goal, which is helping keep the net up. So when it bounced back, it looked like it might have just come off the actual goalpost, but it didn't. But nonetheless, good powerful run, wasn't it? It came from O'Dowda. As soon as they build play, he is on his bike, and Adoma, he can't really keep with him. Good ball in the box, and there's nice opportunity for Atete. It's got to hit the target though. Again, they miss it. The best chance that either of these 2 teams have created. Here come QPR at the other end, looking for Powell inside the box. Well tracked by Philogene, and behind for QPR's 3rd corner, and their first in this second half. 51 gone. You're listening to EFL Game Day live on Talksport 2. Certainly the best chance of the game though for Atete. Yeah, he was really disappointed. You could tell by his reaction. Yeah, I mean, he did well to the keeper. Yeah, he did well to sort of tee it up for himself, and then he's just got to hope he just hits the target. Maybe they're trying to be a bit too precise, the players, trying to aim for the corners rather than just work the keeper. Kenneth Powell to deliver the corner for QPR in front of the travelling fans away to our right here at the Cardiff City Stadium. The floodlights beaming brightly. 7 minutes played in the second half. Powell to deliver. Again, Dunn and Dickey both summoned forward from defence. Field is a decent target in the air as well. Adoma stood right in front of Alsop, the goalkeeper. Rifle ball headed away by Joe Rawls. Another one. Too many times we've said that about Kenneth Powell. You wonder why he's still on set piece duty. Chip back into the area, in towards Dunn, but well defended by Cardiff City. Dowder took a whack in the back for his troubles. There's a free kick for the hosts.
You would say it's a clear foul, yeah, granted, from Ginny Dunn, but the ball from Andre Dazelle was under hit. When you've got Dykes and you've got Dunn at the back post on the diagonal, you've got to leave it in there. Dink it up, give him something to attack. You can't under hit it. The ball barely made the box there from Dazelle, and it's got to do better.
Richard, it's 9 years since QPR found themselves in the end of season playoffs. Do you see them as a top 6 side, or are there better teams around? We'll come back to that, because they're coming forward here. Ethan Laird on the edge of the area. He's dispossessed by Wintle. Adoma with a little flick round the corner. Again, well watched by Wolves this time. And Robinson with the blonde hair just taps it forward for Colwell. He's got Kiana Tete up in support. Colwell puts it through the legs of Rob Dickey, but a cross comes down and clears the ball out for a throw. Yeah, nice skill though, wasn't it, from Colwell? Now ready to go. He was close to the sideline. Lovely little nutmegs through the QPR player. Can you see them? I don't look in the top 6. You just don't know, right? The table can change. Obviously, they're at the top of the table in late October, QPR. So, obviously, they've got players that can get in that position again. Be a challenge, though. Make no mistake. You wonder how much longer Neil Critchley will leave it before introducing Mariah's chair. Very much their creative lightning rod. Good ball forward, though. At the other end was Joe Rolls. He picked out the run of O'Dowda. He almost had too much time there, O'Dowda. Well, he tried and work out what to do, and in the end he bobbled it against his own leg and tamely behind for a goal kick. Yeah, brilliant ball in behind, and O'Dowda's onside, but I think Powell's got his arm up. He believes O'Dowda's onside. He's not. He controls it brilliantly with his head in the air. Then just his second touch, he tries to bring it down in the box. In those sorts of areas, we spoke about him, his reliability in those areas. Maybe he's just let him down over the years. Watching a replay again of the chance for Kiana Tete, turning away from Powell, left-footed shot, off balance. Not sure that Dieng had it covered, had it have crept the right side of the post. But we'll never know for sure. Dieng with a long ball forward for QPR, looking for Dykes, Australian-born Scotland international, heavily linked in recent weeks with a move to Glasgow Rangers in the SPL. Here's a Tete at the other end, little flick towards Robinson, good defending by Dickey. He's had an excellent game, Rob Dickey, at the heart of the QPR defence. That was a really important intervention. Well, Callum Robinson feels that was a little bit naughty. Caught Callum on the shin, and he's still down. Dickey making his apologies. Not sure that Robinson is in a great mood to accept them. I think he got the ball. Did he get the man as well? A little bit, by the looks of it. They've had a little handshake, so they're fine. Again, though, those two linking up pretty well, right? Tete and Robinson. I mean, it's early days for that partnership, but it's looked pretty promising so far. Yeah, you look at the games that Cardiff have to come between now and the turn of the year. They go to Coventry on Thursday, and then Blackburn Rovers away from home on New Year's Day. And they've got a really exciting FA Cup tie, which will be live on Talksport on Sunday, the 8th of January. We hope to have picked up a few league points between now and then to really enjoy that occasion against the men from the Premier League. Philogene doing well to win the ball back deep inside QPR territory, but only momentarily. It's Rangers who come forward down the left, looking for Lyndon Dykes. There was a foul in there on Jimmy Dunn. Romeo the offender, and it's a free kick a yard in from the touchline, halfway inside the Cardiff half. It's still goalless. We've played 11 minutes since half-time. Well, there was nothing really on for Jimmy Dunn, so he just kept on travelling with it. Got over the halfway line. He was kind of going down a blind alley, really, and he got the foul. Was probably the best he could hope for. It's David Conley, the former Republic of Ireland striker, alongside me, Alex Crook, here on Talksport 2. Team news very shortly from Kenilworth Road, where Norwich are the visitors. Big night for Dean Smith, as you were hearing during the half-time break. And Virgil van Dijk has doubled Liverpool's lead against Aston Villa over on Talksport, 2-0 at half-time in that one. He's here down the right-hand side for QPR. Comes Laird well forward, cleared away by Cardiff to the centre circle. Done a bit overzealous in the eyes of the Cardiff fans as he competed aerially with Kiana Tete. Tete is down and in need of treatment. The referee stopping play. Well, I mean, QPR are getting to a promising position. I mean, Albert Adoma's just saying to Ethan Laird, and Neil Critchley's there as well. And
Albert Dunn was right. Ethan's taken 2 Cardiff players on, down to the byline. He checks out. He's got Albert Adoma facing him. Just roll it back to me. That's what Albert's saying. Roll it back to me and I can deliver a ball in the box. Instead, Ethan Laird tries to do a turn and he can't see his man, loses possession, and Albert Adoma's staring at him going, well, if you give me the ball, I can put the ball in the box. Just those little details, often be the difference. It's not just you. He's playing on his own there a little bit, Ethan Laird, like he's in the playground. Just do the right thing, check out, set your teammate, he can cross in the box.
They have scored a joint championship high of 9 goals from crosses this season, QPR, but they've not really put enough dangerous balls into the Cardiff area to this point. But that's the point that Neil Crixley was making as well. Play has restarted. Keanu Tete is back on his feet and Laird has been robbed in possession by Colwill. Colwill plays it through the legs of field. He goes down under the challenge. It will be a free kick. Again, good skill by Colwill. And a free kick here, right in the centre of the QPR half.
Too casual, Alex. Sorry, too casual. Ethan Laird again, taking too long on the ball. Colwill, too strong for him on the front foot. Wings possession back. And then wins another free kick as well for his team. That all starts with Ethan Laird. He's got to sharpen up, get up to the speed of the game, move the ball a little bit quicker.
And plenty of activity now down the sidelines of Ayers Chair. Amongst those out warming up, the Moroccan international for QPR. Free kick here for Cardiff. Wintle and Joe Rawls, as we've seen already, has a wonderful array of passing. The skipper has stood over the ball. And now 4 or 5 grey-shirted Cardiff players to aim at on the edge of the area. Romeo nods it across the box and 2 QPR players almost getting each other's way there, headed away in the end by Adoma. Back to Rawls. Rawls with the left-footed ball towards the far post. It's met by Tete and he smashes it over the crossbar from 10 yards out. Just not happening for Keanu Tete. Really good play, I think, from Kipre up from the back initially as the ball was played in by Rawls just to cushion it down inside the 18-yard box. Keanu Tete, in acres of space, really has to hit the target. He shins it over the crossbar. Yeah,
terrible technique here from Tete on the move. Ball bounces, coming back towards him in the box. He's just past the penalty spot and he doesn't work the goalkeeper. He knows he's just tapped his head. He knows. Come on, he's saying to himself, got to do better than that.
Well, those half chances, more than half chances really, games at this level can be won and lost. Keanu Tete has had a couple of really good opportunities in this second half and it remains 0-0.
Well, those one-touch finishes, we would have been watching the master at work in Harry Kane at Tottenham, the master of the one-touch finish and ball striking.
They do look the better side here, Cardiff. O'Dowda down the left, QPR having to work overtime to keep their hosts at bay. Rolls with a header in, which is acrobatically cleared away by Phil, but they can't get out here, QPR. Phil does win it back, picking the pocket of Robinson. And now QPR come over the halfway line. It's played out to the left-hand side and Willock back to Phil. QPR just trying to get a foothold in the game again, having to soak up an awful lot of pressure from Cardiff in the first 16 minutes of the second half. It's still 0-0 on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport, half-time, Villa 0, Liverpool 2. And still to come here, our 10th live commentary across the network. It is Luton against Norwich from the Championship. In fact, another Premier League commentary live on Talksport as well.
Well, I tell you what,
against West Ham.
QPR worked the ball wide there with Kenneth Powell. He had the ball. Just see this one in.
Yeah, good ball in from Dunn. The header from Dykes. Not too far away. I mean, that is a header from miles out.
Yeah.
It was Rob Dickey actually who wrapped his foot right-footed around the cross. Dykes is only just inside the area, has to generate all of his own power, and he nods it wide.
Yeah, such a difficult chance that is. And the ball coming out, I was just going to say, prior to that, Kenneth Powell got the ball wide beyond the box and he could cross it. I looked at Lyndon Dykes, he made the run. Kenneth Powell then faked across, chopped back inside. Okay, it looked great on the eye, but the ball didn't come in. And again, Lyndon Dykes has made another run and not got the ball. Too many times that's happened.
Well, he's done really well here, Dykes, to win it back off Wintle determinedly Manages to wrestle possession back for Cardiff.
I'd like to see Lyndon Dykes, just screaming at maybe his full-back, just put the ball in. Laird could have done it a couple of times, Powell could have done it. I don't really see him doing that. I don't see him telling his teammates, serve me.
He's got 6 goals this season, Lyndon Dykes, all of them in terms of the Championship at home. In fact, he hasn't scored away from home for 25 matches, Lyndon Dykes. Well,
I can't see that changing today unless he gets the ball a little bit more often. But he's got to then demand that off his teammates.
63 played, 0-0 the score at the Cardiff City Stadium. Wintle for the home sides.
When he's just, his body language there, Dykes, he's had a moan at his teammates, but because they're not up pressing high, what he needs to do, have a moan at his teammates, so they don't give him the ball. Get the ball wide. He should be screaming at his full-backs and his wingers, cross. Give me some service. He
would have relished the opportunities that Kiana Tete has wasted.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lyndon Dykes.
Instead, he's finishing from 18, 20 yards out, and the Tete's had chances from 6 and 7 yards out.
1967, remember, the last time QPR went away from home on Boxing Day. They have 27 minutes to end the long wait for those travelling supporters who've made the long trek to South Wales. It will be a much better journey back to West London if they can find a winner. Willock turning neatly away from trouble on the halfway line for the visitors, and he's played the ball out to the left-hand side. And Yeropanam linking up neatly with Powell. Powell with a cross into the area, blocked behind by Philogene, and out for yet another QPR corner.
Well, at least he tried to get the ball in there, Powell. And Lyndon Dykes did make the near post run, so that was a little bit better. Let's see what the service is like from the corner.
I think it has been a better second half.
Yeah.
More for us to get our teeth into. Again, still both goalkeepers relatively untroubled, but that's more because Kiana Tete has wasted 2 good chances than anything else. Powell places the ball down, left-hand side again, in front of those QPR supporters. Puts his right arm in the air, Powell. That looks a better delivery towards Dykes, but headed away by O'Dowda. Certainly the best of his 4 corners from Powell. And it's brought down on the edge of the box and hammered over the crossbar by Dickey. He was teed up by Jimmy Dunn, his fellow centre-back, and he got right underneath the shot that's into the 7th or 8th row of the stand behind the goal to our right.
Goodness me, another chance. Blazed over the bar. Have they hit the target today? I'm sure you'll...
Not sure they have,
I don't think so. Either side have.
And that will disappoint both dugouts. Here is Kipre on the edge of his own penalty area, the tall, imposing Cardiff centre-back. He was launched long upfield by Allsop, the goalkeeper, all in green, but he picks out his opposite number. And Sonny Dieng bobs it out quickly to field in midfield for QPR. Here's Willock. Has looked like he could conjure some magic when he's had the opportunity to do so. Chip forward towards the area, headed clear by O'Dowda. And Yeropanam helps it out for left-hand side. The referee had already stopped play.
I think the ball just came off the referee, Keith Stroud there, so he's got to call it back.
And this will be a bounce ball. Possession returned to whichever team he deemed in possession at the time. Looks like Mark Hudson is going to be the first manager to make a change. Certainly some activity down on the Cardiff bench. Neil Critchley deep in conversation with his backroom team as well. It's Mark Harris who will be coming on imminently. Interesting to see if it's for Philogene or for Colwell. Harris, one of those 2 omissions from the starting 11 compared to the team that took the field against Blackpool. Gavin White, the other player, dropping to the bench to make way for Colwell and Philogene. We've played 67 minutes. You're listening to Talksport 2. It's still Cardiff 0, QPR 0. Team news from Luton very shortly. As the ball is crossed into the area and headed over the crossbar by Dykes. It was
thankless task for Dykes, isn't it, to try and get on the end of deliveries like that. This time Dazelle right hand side, but he's kind of struck this as if he's going for goal. It's behind Dykes and he tries to angle his head and get something on it, but really difficult chance.
And Jaden Philogene is the player who's made his way off over on the far side, all the way around the perimeter and back to the dugout. Mark Harris, the Welsh international with 3 goals to his name this season, comes on. Haven't really seen enough of Andre Dazelle in midfield, have we?
No, I think he's been pretty disappointing today, to be honest. You know, he's in there for his ability on the ball, but you know, he hasn't really done enough of it today, that's for sure. His passing has been disappointing.
Here's Robinson, plays it down the left-hand side to Colwell, a little back heel looking for O'Dowda. It ricochets out of play off Laird and out for a Cardiff throw. Colwell continues to look bright and breezy. Trying taken short by O'Dowda to Robinson, back to the halfway line and Kipray. That streak of blonde in his hair. And G gives it back to the West Brom loanee Kipray. He looks for the run of O'Dowda and it's headed out of play by Laird, and it's out for another Cardiff City throw down the left-hand side. We've got only a quarter of the match remaining. Still we await the first goal of the evening. Colwell plays the ball infield to Joe Rule, switch of play out to the right-hand side, brought down neatly in the yellow footwear by Romeo. And now an opportunity for Harris straight away to make a meaningful impression. This crossfire deflection is hooked away by Phil, but hanging in the air. Dykes can't win it back. Kipray well forward, does so. Brings it down the chest, Kipray, 30 yards out. Oh, it's brilliant play from the centre-back, and I think he just, in the end, lost his footing. Had he been able to get a volley away from the edge of the area and it found the back of the net, that would have been some goal, David Conley.
Yeah, good bit of skill. Looks like he might have just injured maybe one of the QPR players in the process too.
Yeah, Field is just slowly hobbling back to his feet. Cardiff fans are urging their team on here. Even with 21 minutes to play, you sense one goal either way. Could be enough to decide this game. It shows the tight nature of the championship table. QPR with eyes on the top 6, very evenly matched with a Cardiff side looking to pull themselves away from the relegation places. If you take Burnley and Sheffield United out of it, there isn't much between most of the teams in this division. Well, that's been evident tonight. Yeah,
and I guess, Louis, if you're Neil Critchley, you'd probably say, you know, a point away from home, we'll take that because 4 points from the last 2, you know, we're building something.
Cardiff trying to build something here. Robinson with a chip over the top to Kiana Teta. Now Colwell, opportunity maybe to get across into the area. Instead plays it short to Robinson. Left corner of the 18-yard box. Robinson, O'Dowda up in support, back to Colwell on this near touch line. A deep cross from him towards Romeo at the far post, who leaps in the air, couldn't get there, and it's behind tamely in the end for a goal kick. Decent idea from Colwell, just not quite the execution.
He's looked bright, hasn't he, Colwell? Whenever he sort of try to get on the ball and make things happen, he's big, strong, powerful boy. He's got really good technical ability as well. And he's looked bright, you know, he has. He obviously likes his delivery, doesn't he? He takes free kicks, direct, and often drifts into little pockets out wide and tries to play a really dangerous ball in. He's always got pace on those crosses, hasn't he?
And plenty of activity down on the QPR bench in front of us. Elias Chair is amongst those being ready for action, so too Tyler Roberts. He'll be coming on as well, and it's going to be a triple change from Neil Critchley. So clearly he has seen enough from his side. Shadipo also ready to come on.
Well, 3 attacking changes, and I guess Elias Che, go back to the reverse game and he was outstanding in that one. Hoping for a similar impact here, this time off the bench.
We didn't see too much action over in Qatar, barring that 3rd and 4th place playoff. He was a spectator as Morocco stunned us all by reaching the semi-finals. But it's certainly a decent weapon to have to come off the bench against maybe a tiring side. We'll be crossing to Kenilworth Road to get the team news from losing against Norwich very shortly, but QPR on the attack with Lyndon Dykes, and he's won a free kick for a foul by Romeo. And as the QPR players get themselves in position, let's cross to our match commentator, Jeff Peters. He'll be watching Luton against Norwich next.
Amari Bell suspended for Luton after his red card at Middlesbrough. Dan Potts back from injury to replace him. That's their only change. Norwich 3 alterations from the defeat to Blackburn. Sam McCallum is ill, so Janoulis replaces him. Hayden drops to the bench. Sinani misses out altogether. Omobama Deli and Giggs come in. Kick-off 7:45 at Kenilworth Road.
And we'll be crossing to Kenilworth Road as soon as we're finished here. Ball into the Cardiff penalty area, bounces harmlessly off the head of field and behind for a goal kick, and now the QPR changes, all three of them can be made. Lyndon Dykes is the first to make way in place of Tyler Roberts. So it's now 26 away games without a goal for the Scotland international, David Connolly.
Yeah, and look, he was feeding off scraps today, but nonetheless, I'd like to see him ask for the ball, demand the ball a little bit more from his full-backs. They could have crossed a lot of times tonight, and they turned those chances down.
And Shodipo is coming on for Chris Willock, which is maybe a slight surprise.
Well, I mean, Paul Hall took off.
And Albert Adoma as well, so it's all three of the front trio who have been replaced. Elias Chair coming on for Adoma.
Yeah, I was going to say that against Burnley, Paul Hall took off. Rishi Willock made a double change, didn't he, at half-time? Well, I think they're a bit unlucky in that game. They probably should have had a penalty at 0-0 really early in the game. They didn't get it.
Well, they should have had a penalty in the first half here. That incident where Dunn found himself on the ground. It'll be fascinating to get Neil Critchley's views on that post-match. If QPR don't go on and win the game, they've got 17 minutes, those subs, to make a positive impact. Robert's not really a centre forward, but he is playing in that role, having come on in the centre of the three-prog attack. On loan from Leeds, another Welsh international here in Cardiff tonight. As Kipre plays it long upfield for the hosts. It might come down for Kiana Tete. Picked up by Rules out to the left-hand side. Robinson didn't know too much about it, but managed to adjust his body and keep the ball in play. And then crosses into the area looking for Tete. Cleared away by Dickey, but back into the box it goes, and then Atete goes down wanting a penalty.
It's Robinson, bit clumsy.
It is Robinson who goes down. Atete leading the appeals. Certainly not as much in that one as the done one in the first half.
Yeah, you're right on that, but it was clumsy nonetheless. In the back of Robinson, and I've seen those given before.
Now free kick for Cardiff over on the far side after Colwell was upended. Watching a replay now.
Yeah, it's Ethan Laird, isn't it, in the back? I mean, you win
enough there?
I don't know, maybe not. No, you're probably right.
Well, the Cardiff fans clearly buoyed by their team's performance since half-time. I think they have been the dominant force in this second half without, so far, managing to find the back of the net. We've said for a while now one goal would be enough. Romeo and Rules, the captain, stand over the free kick over on the far side, a yard in from that right touchline. Rules for the left-footed delivery, flicked over the crossbar by Colwell, stooping header. Again, Dieng untroubled.
Again, it's off target. I mean, it's just a faint touch you need there. I don't know why Colwell, an under-hit cross, has tried to put so much on that. Just help it on its way. That's all you have to do.
And now Aldalda has won a free kick just inside his own half. As the challenge from Shodipo. Just climbing over the top of the Cardiff man. Kipre inside the centre circle, plays it back to NG, his fellow centre back. And now Romeo forward over the halfway line. Romeo looking for Kiana Tete. Swept away outfield by Dunn. Well, they've been a good partnership, haven't they, Dunn and Dickey tonight?
Yeah, they have. They've been pretty solid, but coming back to the opportunities that they've had 15, both teams altogether. 7 for the home team, 8 for Rangers. How many on target?
None.
1. 1 out of 15. I just wonder how much time players do spend on team stuff, obviously tactics and possession and passing, but actual ball striking, finishing.
Well, that's where games are won and lost in that final third. You can have hold of the plate in and around the penalty area, but if you can't put the ball in the back of the net, you aren't going to win many matches.
Well, there's an awful lot of time spent on set-ups and stopping teams playing, and we're defending at this line, our defensive line is that line, and playing through the thirds and this, that and the other. Get in and around the box though, and if you can't strike a ball properly, you're in big trouble.
QPR have got a free kick after Rob Dickey was sent flying to the ground on the edge of the centre circle. I think Colwell was the offender, looking at the wry smile on his face. There's going to be yet another QPR change in a moment or two.
Looks like Luke Amos, maybe.
Yeah. Just getting his final instructions from Neil Critchley's backroom team. And a poor piece of control by Shadipo, the academy graduate. As the ball bounced off his chest and out for a Cardiff throw down by the left corner flag. We've got 12 minutes to play plus stoppage time here on Talksport 2. 0-0 the score on the day that Sunderland left it very late to beat Blackburn with a stoppage time goal. We heard that game live here. And Wolves' dramatic last gasp victory in stoppage time against Everton in the Premier League. Both those matches ending in 2-1 wins. Are we going to get more late drama here? Tyler Roberts doing well to win a throw-off rules. Just a few yards shy of the penalty area on this near side, in front of the commentary position at the Cardiff City Stadium. Field plays the ball into the centre of the Cardiff half. Openham, who hasn't seen as much of the ball in the second half as he did in the first. Now Elias Chair in the red footwear to mark his return from the World Cup in the grand manner, but they've given the ball away, and Robinson races away from Dickey on this left-hand side, looks for Kiana Tete, finds a Tete on the edge of the area. He couldn't get the ball out from under his feet, and then trying to atone for the poor touch, he's conceded a free kick right on the edge of the box.
I'll tell you what, Callum Robinson does brilliantly. He spins his man on the halfway line, gets his head up, spots a Tete on the right-hand side of the box. He takes one touch to sit himself, but he's got no awareness that Kenneth Powell is tracking back. He's got to have a little look over his shoulder, takes the ball off him. It's just really poor play, to be honest, and it's a waste because you've got Robinson up there who's got real craft and quality, and at times just come to a Tete, it's just been below the level really that you require.
Well, Luke Amos getting a nice ovation from the QPR fans as he comes on for his first appearance since the 5th of November. Tim Robenham is the player trudging to the bench. So 4 changes made by Neil Critchley, but no change in the scoreline. We've got 10 minutes left. You're listening to Talksport 2 and it's still goalless here in South Wales. Ball out on the QPR left. Powell's given it away, but quickly one back, and then
oh no, he's brought it back.
Players halted, I think, for a foul against Dazelle when he'd already released Elias Chair.
I mean, that is crazy. He plays a brilliant pass into Chair, who's beyond Cardiff's midfield, and he's breaking forward, and he's just going to feed the ball wide for QPR, and then they'll probably put a cross in the box in a dangerous position. They brought it back. Terrible decision there from Keystrode, who, other than that, has had a pretty good game. Oh, you know what it was? Ball hit the referee. Again, wrong place. That's the second time.
I think he needs to work on his positioning, the Hampshire official. Cross from the right-hand side by Shadipo, blocked behind. It's going to be a 5th corner for Queen's Park Rangers.
I mean, how can you miss him? He's wearing bright orange as well. I mean,
he isn't even that tall, the referee, to keep getting in the way of play. You can understand why QPR were frustrated. They do have a corner here as Cardiff prepare to go to their bench for the second time, but not until after this corner is played in by Elias Chair. Delivery from set pieces poor so far, and Elias Chair hasn't changed that because he didn't beat the first man. Headed away by Colwell.
Dreadful.
Back it goes into the area.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Oh, the goalkeeper has had to tip it over his crossbar though, backpedaling. I don't think it was an attempt at goal from Ethan there, but in the end it proved an awkward one for Allsop.
Well, there's no way he meant this. He just wanted to help this back in the box. In the end, it's a dreadful ball in. Everyone from QPR, as soon as they look at the ball, they just run back to their own goal. So they think, well, this is sailing over the bar. In the end, it was probably dropping just under it.
Corner from the left-hand side, fortuitously earned by Queen's Park Rangers. Can they make the most of it? They've had 6 corners now over the course of the 82 minutes on Talksport 2. Rice Chair again to take it in front of the QPR fans who adore him, the Moroccan.
Well, they've changed their routine here, QPR, because their very first corner in this game, they put everyone in the 6-yard box. They've done pretty similar here. The last couple, they've gone big at the back post. Let's see what they do.
Referee just stopping play for a bit of pushing and shoving, headed away by Robinson at the near post. Might come down for Laird on the edge of the area. All about shooting first time, in the end took a touch and then smashes the half volley against MG. It's out for a throw in.
He's never set there, Laird, to try and cross that.
Gavin White is coming on for Ruben Colwell, so the 2 players omitted from the starting lineup. Both have been called upon in the second half. White for his 50th Cardiff appearance. I think Colwell will be fairly pleased with his display.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think they just protect him a little bit there, not long back.
Got a taste of the World Cup action against England. On as a sub in that game. Here is Amos. QPR pleased to have him back in their ranks after that layoff. The ball is back with the goalkeeper Ryan Alsop. He clears it right-footed up into the sky. Kiana Tete is beaten in the air, but beaten unfairly by Dunn. He went right over the top of Kiana Tete. It's a free kick for Cardiff just inside their own half.
Yeah, a little bit clumsy from Ginny Dunn, but it's there to be won, so on the receiving end of quite a few of them.
Still time for a late winner. 7 minutes plus stoppage time to play. 0-0 the score, and Aston Villa have got a goal back against Liverpool. Over on Talksport, Ollie Watkins has reduced the deficits. Now Villa 1, Liverpool 2 with 25 minutes still to play. Behind Luton against Norwich. You've heard the team news already live from Kenilworth Road. Is coming up as soon as we're finished here in the Welsh capital. A little bit of afters there from Field, having bundled over Kipre and then shoved him as he was on the floor. Not sure what that was all about. Kiana Tete dropping deep, rolling the ball out to the right hand side, and Romeo skipping away from one challenge, and he's still got the ball over on that far touchline, the fullback. He hasn't really got anywhere to go. He goes to ground looking for a free kick. The referee doesn't give it, and it's going to be a throw in for QPR, and Romeo doesn't want to give the ball back.
He might get booked now. I think he is.
Yellow card, silly, from Marlon Romeo, who again has had a pretty good evening to this point, both in terms of his defensive duty and getting forward to support the attack when he can, but didn't need to find himself in Keith Stroud's notebook there. The ball is at the feet of Dieng, the goalkeeper for QPR, and he dropped the shoulder and turned away from Kiana Tete. Put himself under a bit of pressure initially, but managed to clear it away. And it's now with his opposite number also.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Roberts made the run far too early there. He's on the last man, but he's run before the ball is played, and he's clearly offside, so he just stopped his run. Ball's gone straight through to Alsop, and just allows Cardiff to build.
Here's O'Dowda down the left for Cardiff, still pressing for a late winner. Kipre chips it into midfield, where the captain Rawls hooks it forward and hooks it towards Kiana Tete. Done there ahead of the centre forward, but one back by Rawls on halfway, and then Robinson trying to turn away from a challenge from Field. He finds O'Dowda with a cross into the centre. Good header away by Dickey on his knees, but he nods it clear.
It's not really a dink ball to the back post or along the ground, is it? It's just a sort of a nothing cross from Callum O'Dowda.
Oh, Kipre has been caught there by Shadipo again. I think Cardiff wanted the advantage played there because O'Dowda had the ball in the left wing position. It's going to be a yellow card for, or was it Shadipo and Courtney or Roberts? I think both were going in for the challenge. Well, actually it was Roberts who came crashing in from the side, and he gets the booking. They almost doubled up on him there, Kipre. He did well, the defender.
Yeah, he did. And actually they had the advantage there. They could have just carried on again. I'm not too sure Keith Stroud, he's got a couple of these decisions, and I'm sure that is what Dean Whitehead down there is saying to the fourth official, that could have had the advantage there.
Cardiff 0, QPR 0. You're listening to Talksport 2 on this busy Boxing Day afternoon and evening still to come Here on Talksport 2, Luton against Norwich from the Championship. Arsenal take on West Ham in the London derby over on Talksport in the Premier League. Ball into the QPR area, headed away not for the first time this afternoon by Dickey, and in fact as it came back into the box, Dickey nods it clear again. All of the coaching staff from QPR on the edge of the technical area as Cardiff look to pile on the pressure late into the game. Back we can Allsop the keeper.
Yeah, you can hear the fans back with Allsop the keeper is not what they want at this stage, especially with the centre halves up for the corner. You know, they want to go forward. Instead they've gone back to their goalkeeper. He's had to boom it now 90 yards down the pitch or 80 yards or whatever.
Dickey's won another header against Kiana Tete. But here is a Tete into the area, plays it along the 6-yard line, looking for Robinson, cleared by Dunn this time. And again the decision making from Kiana Tete not quite on point, and what looked a dangerous proposition for Cardiff in the end is easily dealt with by the QPR defence.
Not good enough. I mean, he's got Callum Robinson. He just hopes that Tete takes another touch and he can make his way towards the back post. Just give him a little bit of time. And I think Robinson's really frustrated. He should be playing a little bit better up there, that's for sure. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. O'Dowda down by the left corner flag, deep cross to the far post. Bad delivery.
Was lurking, but it was easy for Dieng to pluck it from the sky.
I mean, that time he dinks the ball up. The previous one he went low when Dickey had to sort of stoop and head it clear, so it was it was across about knee level. That one was dinked up so slowly, it was just like catching practice for the keeper, and they've got to do better when they're putting these crosses in the box.
Not sure either side have really done enough to win the game, have they?
No.
Tyler Roberts with a clearance against O'Dowda.
Oh, the keeper was off his line there,
Robinson was being urged to shoot, but he was facing away from goal. Tries to dribble into the air instead, and it's nicked away by Phil, but Cardiff have a corner. A corner in the 89th minute, and they're going to be delayed from taking it because there's a QPR player down the edge of the box. Much to the frustration of the home supporters and players alike. It's Elias Chair, isn't it?
I think it's Dazelle,
yeah. Holding his left leg. We're about to see how many added minutes there will be. You may have heard a young fan behind us stop wasting time with the cry as Dazelle is down receiving treatment. Dazelle slowly back to his feet, being booed by the Cardiff fans behind the goal away to our left. How many added minutes are we thinking, David Connolly?
2, 3.
You did say to me before the game this has got 0-0 written all over it. You've been proved absolutely spot on, of course. Unless Cardiff can win it late here. Rolls with a delivery, left-hand side, good ball into the area, and headed down and headed wide. Oh, that was so close to the winner. It was O'Dowda up from left back, couldn't get the header on target.
Another chance that goes past the post. A free header, almost on the penalty spot. He gets free, heads it back where it came from, took a couple of bounces on the diagonal, aiming towards that near post area.
5 added minutes at the end of the 90. Cardiff fans are encouraged by that. They feel that momentum is with their team heading into the closing stages. QPR just haven't done enough for a side looking to move into the top 6 and those playoff places. Yeah,
they haven't, but I'm sure they'll console themselves with a point. They'll say, right, 4 points, this one away from home will do us pretty good going into the Luton game, and maybe we can make our home form count. I think it's important, that you kind of stay unbeaten. You win one, you draw one. You take that point on the road and away you go.
Luton and Sheffield United still to come for QPR between now and the turn of the year. That game against Sheffield United is live on Talksport on January the 2nd. 0-0 here. And we've played already pretty much one of the 5 added on at the end of the 90. Here's Ethan Laird stepping inside of Gavin White. Dazelle takes over. Haven't got Elias Chair on the ball. Anywhere near enough since he came on QPR. It's picked up by Powell, the left back. Well, here is Chair. Playing a 1-2 with Dazelle, and they're going to switch the play out to the right. It's a lovely floated ball into the path of Shadipo. Shadipo taking on O'Dowda, crossing towards the near post. Roberts on the corner of the 6-yard box has got Keeper to circumnavigate. Keeper did really well not to bring him down and then to come away with the ball. Any kind of clumsy tackle there and QPR would have been looking at a penalty. Here's Chair. Everybody barred the end inside the Cardiff half, and O'Dowda has got there ahead of Shadipo, and he clears it away down by the left corner flag. Robinson can't make it stick though, and here's Roberts inside the penalty area, and he drills a decent looking ball all the way across the 6-yard box. There was nobody in a QPR shirt gambling on that.
Yeah, because he's centre forward. He's the one putting the ball in. I mean, Shadipo, every time he's got it, he's trying to get past Callum O'Dowda. He must realise, Callum's a quick boy. He can't really do that. It's too predictable. But in the end, that clearance from Callum falls at the feet of a QPR player, feeds it into Tyler Roberts, right-hand side of the box, and he doesn't look. He does not get his... He doesn't look. If he's a centre forward and he's out wide crossing, well, who's going to be in the 6-yard box? He's got to have a look before he puts it in.
Here come QPR again, no. Opportunity for Shadipo, edge of the area. He loses his footing and he slices the right-footed shot high over the crossbar, and that probably sums up what we see in these 93 minutes.
Yeah, shanks it wide, and it's a good opportunity, right-hand side. He's just inside the box. I mean, it's a good 10-12 yards wide and over. Dreadful.
It might be the last opportunity for Neil Critchley's men to pinch all 3 points here. We've got 2 of 5 added minutes to play. Cardiff 0, QPR 0 on Talksport 2. Long ball forward by Allsop, headed on by Kiana Tete. And here is Tete on the edge of the area, out to the right-hand side. White with the low ball into the box again, well defended by QPR. Cleared away at the near post, I think by Dunn on this occasion. Both of those centre-backs have been almost foot perfect for the visitors, and you can see why they limited Preston to only 2 shots on target last week. They are a well-drilled side defensively. Allsop's ball flicked on by Tete. Laird almost slipped in possession there, and with 2 Cardiff players around him, had no choice but to play the ball out for a throw-in down by the corner flag. Taken quickly by Robinson. O'Dowda drills the ball into the air. Again, it's cleared. But he's back with O'Dowda, and he's heard on a couple of challenges. Great dancing feet from O'Dowda, gets the shot away, takes a deflection, headed away by Dickey. And then the shot from Wells on the volley, high over the crossbar.
Yeah, that kind of sums up their kind of night. I mean, that looked promising from O'Dowda. Lovely little double step over, and as he worked his way into the box, just trying to flash it at goal. He was blocked out and eventually falls to Rawls, who lets fly, when actually he had a little pass into Callum Robinson just outside the box. Would have been certainly the better option.
Still 2-1 to Liverpool away from home against Aston Villa live on Talksport. We've moved into the last 30 seconds. It looks like the points will be shared here, unless we are going to get one last bit of drama on a day of drama across the network. Shadipo trying to provide it. He's going to take on O'Dowda. He's got Roberts and Chair in the centre. Good ball in towards the near post. Headed away by QPR. Run back by Dazelle. Cardiff on the free kick, has not been given. Here's Amos now. Finds Shadipo. Stands it up towards the far post. Powell tried to hook it back across the 6-yard box. He loses footing. It's behind for a goal kick, and Allsop is screaming at the referee for the foul not given earlier in the piece, David.
Yeah, and I think it might have been right there. Might have been a foul. As it is, I mean, the ball to the back post, I don't think it was intended for Powell. In the end, he was really struggling to keep it on the pitch. He couldn't do that, and it kind of sums up the evening, really. I think that's 20 strikes at goal that we've had around that, and 1 on target. That is it.
Well, there is the full-time whistle. 1 or 2 boos from the home supporters. Mark Hudson, the Cardiff manager, looks a little perplexed by that. His team probably had the better of the second half, but lacking any real quality up front. Kiana Tete on another day could have had a couple of goals. He shakes his head, the big centre forward, as he makes his way back to the sanctuary of the dressing room. QPR's 55-year wait for a victory away from home on Boxing Day continues, but they extend their unbeaten run under Neil Critchley. 4 points from his 2 games in charge. It finishes at the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0.